Hello, I am Camilo Paez from the editorial board of the Build Up portal, which is the European platform for energy efficiency in buildings. Welcome to this edition of our Expert Talk series we are hosting today with Christophe Sykes, Director General at Construction Products Europe. Welcome, Christophe. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Today, we wanted to address the topic of the European Green Deal and its provisions regarding the building sector, the construction sector. What are the opportunities today? What are the hurdles? And we wanted to know the point of view of our interviewee today, Christophe Sykes, who, after different academic and scientific collaborations relating to the environment and sustainability, he has been working for the last 2 decades on the field of building materials and addressing key issues of the construction sector and the related policies. He has been the Director General at Construction Products Europe since 2012. Correct. And he has been a motivated speaker in several events where we have had the chance to meet. And he's also a member of the CEN Construction Sector Network and also member of the Chairman Advisory Group of the CEN Adaptation to Climate Change project. To start the interview, maybe to finish the introduction, you can share with us some of the work and projects currently going on in Construction Products Europe, and then directly address the current situation, this sanitary and social economic crisis that the COVID pandemic has brought us. What are the main challenges these situations has brought to you? And how do you see the next phase of this year, 2020?
Okay. Well, thank you again for the invitation. Indeed, we have to start with COVID. It has hit all industries, but the construction industry particularly hard. The numbers from the European Commission is that in this quarter we are down 50% in production. Next quarter, they're looking at 25%, and then still the following one down 12.5%. So we know there won't be any recovery until, if any, late next year. and the crucial issue at the moment is to retain the skills and the workers. Across member states, the situation is very varied. If we looked at the Netherlands, the building sites were never closed. Whilst in France they closed immediately and put a lot of pressure on the whole value chain. So we must say that with the new Commission, we and the colleagues immediately when the crisis erupted, we wrote to the Commission and had some very good conversations with commissioners. Breton and Samson, they were there, they listened, they wanted to talk to us, which is really great. They appreciate the situation the whole value chain is in, and they're really looking at solutions to help the industry come out stronger, because if we don't act now, of course there'll be social and economical crises in the months to come. We see some of the factories, companies already laying off people, but we have to keep the value of the people that we have and the skills that we have in the industry to be able to take on the next challenges.
And besides this current situation issues, and zooming out to the evolution in late years, we acknowledge that the European legislation has put a lot of attention on the energy performance of buildings with several provisions, and mainly the EPBD directive. And we wanted to know, from your point of view, how the market has responded to this evolution, somewhat rapid evolution of the regulations on energy efficiency.
Of course, the link is easy between energy efficiency of buildings and the climate targets that we have to reach. Indeed, there have been a lot of attempts to get EPBD right. There's a lot of talk about the renovation of buildings now and the famous renovation wave that will be launched this autumn. So a lot can be achieved. We need to get all actors of the value chain involved. Of course, member states also. How do we finance this? and we need to get building owners on board as well to convince them that this is for, of course, it's going to be best for the environment, but it's going to be best for them and the tenants that may be renting out their homes if they're not the homeowners themselves. So it's a challenge because, of course, construction is a complex animal with lots of players involved. But I think everybody now understands that we can't, ignore the challenge, and we have in the industry have all the solutions that we need. And it's just a question of the political will, the financial support and instruments, and then the skills behind it to put it in place. And it's a great but very positive challenge for the industry.
And considering in particular the provisions announced on the Green Deal so far, how do you expect that these Green Deal new provisions will boost energy efficiency in the construction sector, and this renovation wave, how will be affecting directly the work you do and the sector in general?
So of course we had the Green Deal before COVID. COVID has shaken us all to the core. There's a lot of talk about the renovation wave coming, maybe not just as a renovation wave, but also as a tool to support industry, to keep industry going. But we need an agreement between the member states. The Commission is willing to put a lot of money on the table through the existing instruments. But of course, we need to make sure that this money gets to the workers, the companies very quickly, because we can't wait another year for the administration and the political agreements to come, because the crisis is here now. And if we can start today the renovation wave, it can keep some companies afloat in the coming months. Otherwise they may struggle. If we look at Belgium, we know that contractors are still working, but they're working on contracts that were signed before the health crisis, and there aren't too many contracts coming forward for the coming months. So we can't let these companies down. The material is there, it's in the factories, and the solutions are there. So we can combine both energy efficiency, the renovation wave, the climate targets, and at the same time maintain a high quality industry in place, whilst and avoiding the severe impact of the crisis.
Furthermore, beyond the energy efficiency and the renovation wave in energy, in the energy field, how do you expect the Green Deal will also help to the overall climate targets, and regarding also to the circular economy that is needed in this scope?
So, as we know, construction was put high up on the agenda of the Green Deal, which was a great opportunity for us. We've talked about the renovation wave, which of course is important and quite crucial, but circular economy, digitalization, these things are also part of the new story of construction. Circular economy has been there, discussed for many years. We have, we talked about CEN and standards. We have EN 15824 for the environmental performance of materials that are the data is delivered voluntarily by manufacturers. We have CE marking for construction products. We've digitalized the CE marking, so the data's there and it's available both in terms of performance, environmental performance, and digitalization will be able to connect all the dots and for the markets to select the products that they want to reach a particular goal. Of course, for this we need digital tools that work for all, that are not segmented, but we can mention maybe the digital logbook project by the European Commission. Also, not just looking at the data coming from the materials, but the data collected from buildings. And so we need to make sure that both language, digital language, if they are digitalized, come together. And let's not forget Levels, which is an initiative of DG Environment, which is looking at the sustainability assessment of buildings. So you see, all those pieces of the big puzzle that is construction are there, and in the coming months and years we're very much looking forward of all these elements coming together to ease the data transfer, the analysis, the comprehension of what the sector can deliver in terms of climate targets, sustainability, well-being in our homes. Yes, that after 2 or 3 months of lockdown, well-being in homes is also quite important. So lots of things to do. We know the German presidency coming up is keen to talk about construction, and so is the Commission. So
I wanted to reflect in a detailed question about this sharing of information in a digital way and transparent way. Don't you see there maybe a conflict with secrecy or in the development of products when you are supposed to share information, but you are also having some copyrights and is there a conflict there?
Well, the first thing is regulations, legislative framework. We have the construction product regulation, which leads to the CE mark of products, and that delivers performance information of products. Each family of products has different characteristics, and these are delivered to the market. This is a requirement. You can't sell construction products without this data. Of course, this is defined by standards, and then we have EPDs, the Environmental Product Declarations, which is a voluntary part. All this data remains under the ownership of the manufacturer, but he's keen to share this with his clients, potential clients, the value stream, to ensure that the right products are installed in the right place, and to ensure performance. So we've done this for many years. Of course, at some point the recipe remains secret if you have the manufacturing process, but everything else is out there to be shared. And of course, digital transformation of this data will probably allow for a better selection and also better performing buildings, because we know that the data under the CE marking is rarely used by the value chain. It's delivered at great cost by manufacturers. They are controlled that the data is available, but little use is made of them. So our smart CE marking is actually looking to give more value to data that we have to deliver in any case. And it's a small piece of a huge digital puzzle, but the crucial one because it starts with materials. So,
indeed, thank you. And maybe for sharing some final reflections, what other hurdles or challenges we have ahead for achieving a truly sustainable built environment?
Well, the first thing is, of course, I've said it before, the multitude of actors in the value chain of construction. Probably you give me, or I'll seize the opportunity to mention a new alliance that we launched only this week, Construction 2050 Alliance. It's bringing together at this point 47 European associations linked to construction, but also in there we have engineers, contractors, building owners, social housing. So we're all coming together because we really want to showcase what the value chain of construction can deliver. As we've again underlined, well-being in homes. We know social housing, there's a lot of need for renovation there. People are looking at affordability. So that's the opportunity in the coming months, is to come together whilst we may be disunited previously. Another challenge is, of course, Europe is a complex system. We're very keen for the member states to find some sort of agreement on financing the Green Deal, making instruments easy to use and understand. As I said, the economy needs financial support now, and we would like to get this out there very quickly, because we know jobs are in jeopardy, and we want to ensure that the skills remain with the industry to be able to face the renovation wave and deliver all those products and systems and performances that the final user deserves, and we are able to deliver.
Great. Thank you, Christophe. Thanks for sharing with us, and thank you all for following.